Welcome back to the show. Our first returning Capitals player, Tom Wilson. Tom, how are you, friend?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. So obviously, playoffs about to start with the Caps. Limited tickets left, Ticketmaster.com. I got to ask, if you haven't been to playoff hockey, man, you obviously lived it on the ice and you played it. How different is playoff hockey than regular hockey for somebody who hasn't been to a game yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a different game. It's a whole other level. The guys are dialed in. Everyone just kind of pushes themselves to be the best, and it definitely kind of goes up another level physical wise and physicality and just that passion, that drive to win. It's a fine line between losing in the playoffs, so you got to be at your best.
Well, I gotta imagine too. I mean, most games start at 7, right? So you must get up at a regular time. But how do you keep yourself level-headed for the 10 hours before a game and not get too amped up for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's game one. Always everyone's kind of amped up and there's some nerves and stuff. But once you get the first few shifts out of the way, everyone kind of settles in. We got a pretty experienced group in our room, so guys that have been through it before, and you got your routine on game day. You go through kind of the same sort of things, and just get yourself ready. And a lot of ups and downs, so you just try and stay as even keel as you can throughout the playoffs. And if you get scored on, try and bounce back. And if you're playing well, just keep at it.
Is it one of those things too where you're driving to the rink, you have your playlist on, like that one hype song goes on, you go, I can't play, I gotta skip it now and come back to it later?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you have your routine, and guys have their different things that get them going, or at different times of the day to fall back on. There's some pretty superstitious guys in the room, and you always have those things that just keep you calm, keep you in routine, and by the time we get to playoffs, your game day is all sorted out. You know what to do, and you know what gets you into the best shape to play the game. So, guys will have their certain playlists. Guys will nap at a certain time, have a certain food that they always eat, and just keep it the same so you don't go crazy come playoff time.
Obviously, winning a Stanley Cup as a hockey player, that's the ultimate goal. That aside, is having your own bobblehead pretty close up on that list?
Yeah, I think that's when you made it, right? When you get a bobblehead. It's as a kid, I always had a few on my shelf for guys that I looked up to, and my hockey heroes when I was little. And when you have a bobblehead night for the first time in the NHL, that's always a moment that you're like, wow, I guess it's the real deal. I guess I'm playing the NHL, and it's something that people love. So that was pretty cool.
How many do we have to get for friends and family? And did we feel a little bit like, oh God, I want to ask for 10 more bobbleheads of me?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple different generations of bobbleheads throughout my career, and I think every time they get a little bit more legit and a little bit more effort goes into making them. So I think the latest one was a volleyball, and I got a couple boxes of them for family and friends, and they're great to always have around for kind of giveaways and little keepsake things for people to get fired up about.
Absolutely. Talking to Tom Wilson, the Capitals, obviously the big thing about playoff hockey is the beard. Do we shave beforehand, or we just keep it the length it is and just let it roll?
I don't know. I think that's $1 million question. I trimmed her up the other day. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do. Some guys go right down to the bone for game one and start fresh. Some guys get a little bit of a head start. I think, certain players have the luxury of growing facial hair a little quicker than others. So, some guys might have started a couple months ago. You never know. But it's always nice to have a little bit of something for game one. So I think in 2018, I got maybe a week head start. So maybe we'll keep it the same this year.
Now, are you a guy, man? Because obviously, dudes, we get a lot of crap for when we shave our beards in the sink. It leaves hairs everywhere. Are you? Do you have any strategy to not leave the stray stragglers anywhere, or do you just kind of go for it and let them fall where they may?
Yeah, I mean, some guys do it at the rink just to save the drains and stuff at home, I guess. So we can do it at the rink, on the road, in the hotels or whatever. But my girlfriend always appreciates when I do it on the road and don't mess up the bathroom at home, I guess.
That's the joys of that. Are we watching anything particularly on Netflix or Hulu or anything right now?
I'm watching the Survivor, the current season. That's kind of old school live TV, I guess. That's not really on any of the streaming sites. But I actually just finished that Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. That was decent. I'm pretty much watching all all the latest and greatest as they come across. But if you have any recommendations, we always got time in hotel rooms to kill.
Hey man, Top Gun comes out in a couple weeks. I'm saying I think that's gonna be the one of the summer. You know.
Oh yeah, that'll be legit. That's a good throwback. I'm pumped for them to revamp that.
Tom, I have to ask, what is the last thing food-wise you've had delivered?
Oh, delivered like to the house?
Yeah,
food delivery?
absolutely. Yeah, man.
I can't really remember we've been on the road for like, I don't know, we were on the road for like 12 days. But I'm a big, sushi's always pretty good. If I'm delivering, if I'm getting, Uber Eats or something, I got my go-to sushi spots that are usually pretty good when it shows up. I'm not a big guy on like getting a steak or something. It's always way better in the restaurant. It shows up, it's cold,
Sure.
and it just doesn't taste the same. So, sushi's pretty good, even if it's a little cold or whatever. So that's kind of the go-to.
Dude, I had my credit card got stolen, right, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the most embarrassing thing was the bank calls you and they have to, confirm charges. And when my bank's like, "Did you really order Uber Eats twice in one day?" I'm like, we don't need that kind of negativity right now,
Yeah, it's happened. I've done it.
Dude,
sure.
Every now and then you got it, man. So here's the thing. Obviously, I think in hockey, the celebrations are almost as good as the goals. I had an idea I wanted to run by you. Your Instagram at Tom Wilson, of course. If we got like 1,000 comments on your most recent post of the canoe emoji, would you consider doing the canoe when you score a goal in the playoffs?
I've seen it done at different levels. That's not my style. I'm not really a big celebration guy. My dad always told me, get back to the bench or get back and line up for the face-off. No showboating. So that's never been my style, but I can pass it along to the guys. You might see a bench clearing brawl from the other team maybe if someone whipped that out. That's a little in your face, but I've seen it at different levels growing up. And the kids nowadays, their celebrations get more and more outrageous. So it wouldn't surprise me to see it in the NHL sooner rather than later.
I mean, one of these times, I want to hit to you, man. You do a lot of amazing things for the community, especially in the DMV. Can you speak on 43's Friends?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple program. The idea was just to, for Make-A-Wish kids that are waiting for their wish, just to give them a night out at a Caps game. I know sometimes it can be a little frustrating for them, especially during COVID or whatever. They're waiting for their wish or whatnot. So just get them to a game, give them a couple tickets. Pre-COVID, it was a tour of the dressing room. Just a nice night for them to enjoy with their families and just be kids and kind of forget about whatever they're going through for a night. And I've met a lot of awesome kids with some great character, and we expanded it to host military families as well. So 10 games of Make-A-Wish and 10 games with military families around DC, and just hang out and chat post game and get them some signed stuff and send them on their way. So met a lot of really cool people, and it's been a great program so far. So we'll keep it going.
Man, it's got to be a cool thing being a pro athlete. Obviously, once you were a kid going to games and watching TV and looking up the players, to know that you can have that impact on a young hockey player or a young kid, what's that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of about giving back. Because like you said, you were a kid at that age with big dreams. One day, one point in time, and we were back in Toronto playing the Leafs the other day, and it wasn't too long ago. I could remember, being in the stands in that same building, and it's pretty cool. It's obviously something that you're extremely fortunate to be able to do to kind of reach your dream and play in the NHL and win a Stanley Cup, and just to be able to pass that on. And it's every kid deserves a good childhood with dreams, and bringing the Stanley Cup back to Toronto and just seeing all the little kids just so pumped, big smiles on their face, and being able to say that could be you one day. That's a real special thing. That we're able to do. So any way we can make positive impact on the community and the next generation, I think that's kind of what it's all about.
It's gotta feel nice to know that you brought more cups to Toronto than the Leafs had in the last couple decades. You know what I mean? That's a slight flex.
Yeah, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. You said it.
No,
but,
no, of course.
You know, they've got a good team. They're knocking on the door, but we'll do our best to make sure it doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Tom Wilson of the Capitals. Best of luck in the playoffs. And I think if we get the canoe comments, enough of them, we float the idea by and we see what happens.
Yeah, there's some canoe spam on my page. I didn't agree to it, but we'll see. We can get a running bet going. We'll see when the first canoe gets brought out in the NHL. I think we might be waiting a little bit for it. But
well, at least we can look back. We'll look back to this moment. Tom, man, thank you so much. Best of luck in the playoffs and the rest of the way, man.